Krishna Bus Tour by Mitra Das, Chapter 8. Thank you. There was no escaping the heat. The air conditioner had been removed from our bus. It never worked right, Manorama said, and we were able to fit in one more bunk when we took it out. I made a gallant effort to sleep, even when the sun crept around on my side of the bus, and one of the boys sat on me with an, "Oh, sorry." "It's all right, you didn't know." I tried to be polite, but my tone was frightening. Earplugs shut out the world as I pretended to sleep. I hadn't signed on to become a grouch. I began to count my blessings each time I was awakened. Instead of cursing that my sleep had been disturbed, I took note of whatever little sleep I'd gotten and was grateful. Thank you were the first two words that came to mind whenever I woke up. I paid attention to the sleep I'd just gotten, like finding a $10 bill in my pocket. The St. Louis Krishna community is not as large as Houston's. It's sort of an outpost. 50 Krishna kids dropping in was the highlight of their year, so local devotees came to see the kids perform a drama and kirtan. Then, after a feast, our two buses headed off into the darkness. The 10-hour drive to New Brindavan, the farm community in West Virginia. "We want to get there for breakfast," Manorama said over the radio as I bunked down. Moundsville, West Virginia. "Anyone that's awake should get up here quick," I told my keeper-upper. "They'll want to see this." I drove our bus over a narrow mountain road past barns and tractors. A couple of sleepy boys came up front. "It's coming up pretty soon," I said. "What is?" "Just around one of these bends, you'll get a glimpse. The devotees built it in the 70s. They call it the Palace of Gold. Tourists come here every day, and there it is. Whoa! Wow!" I had to drive with both hands. Part of the road had fallen away a few years ago, and now there was always a chance that we'd suddenly find ourselves over what had once been the shoulder. "The palace will reappear in a few minutes," I told the boys. "We'll be driving right by it." "Devotees built that?" "Yes. It's beautiful." "And they had no idea what they were doing," I said. "They learned as they built it." "Okay, here it comes again. You get another look." Once we'd parked, the kids found the temple room as well as the harmonium, drums, and kartals and began kirtan. Some opted for small kirtans on the lawn overlooking the swan pond. British kids posed with the peacocks. "Did you see the palace on the way in?" I asked. "No, but we heard about the palace." "So this is your first time here?" "Yes." "It's a 10-minute walk up the hill. Do you want a quick tour?" They agreed. A couple more joined, and we headed to Prabhupada's Palace of Gold. Walking quickly uphill, I spoke in broken sentences. "My wife helped to build this place, way back before I met her. It was originally going to be a temple, a Krishna temple. That was Prabhupada's idea for this place, 7 temples on 7 hills, like Vrindavan, with the main 7 temples. We paused for stragglers. "City folks," I quipped, "not used to hills." Prabhupada loved this place, the simple country life. He stayed in an old wooden building behind that hill over there. But devotees wanted to make him something nice. This building was for him to stay in. Gradually it got fancy. When he passed on, they turned it into a memorial for him. It's one of the biggest tourist attractions in this state. People come here from all over to learn about Prabhupada. The manor in England is like that. We get tour groups." "Yes," I said, "we're interesting people. Good for tourism." "We're coming up on the back, sort of like the back side of a peacock." "Wow, this is quite impressive." "Yes, but you can see the paint is fading and some bits are falling off there, but it's still impressive." "This was built back in the early 70s, I said. "It's a challenge to keep it up. Look at those fountains. I've been here when all this was working, with fresh gold leaf and flowers everywhere." "Wow, I can imagine. It's still really nice, though." We stepped inside where it was 10 degrees cooler. I let the building speak for itself, with its mosaic floor and walls, stained glass windows, crystal chandeliers, gold leaf, and carved woodwork. Wow. Look at this marble work on the floor and the walls. They were amateurs, but they made these intricate patterns. One of the devotees drove to North Carolina to get a load of granite. He selected the best pieces and drove it back here. He parked the truck on a hill, and the load started to slide off. He was so absorbed in his work that he stood in front of it trying to stop a load of granite with his hands. He got hurt pretty bad. He's lucky he didn't get killed. Yep, that's a dumb thing to do. But it gives you an idea what kind of foolhardy people would take on something like this. But in the end, you have all this. Yes, they were really sincere, and they still are. I hope you get to meet some of them. I looked at my watch. But we'd better get going. We're already late for lunch. Pity we couldn't stay longer. I'm glad we got to see this. Oh, one more thing, I said. My wife painted a little section of the ceiling. Let me show you. Like the Sistine Chapel? Exactly, but much better. Here's a picture of them on the steps outside the Palace of Gold. I found a minute to call home. We saw your artwork at the palace. My artwork? On the ceiling. Oh yeah, I didn't know what I was doing, but it looks beautiful. Something came in the mail today. It says you have to stay in the U.S. to be eligible for unemployment. We'll be in Canada tonight, so that plan won't happen. We'll be all right, she said. Don't worry. I haven't had time to. That's good. Worrying never helps. True, I said. They're loading the bus. I have to go. But I want to let you know I have a plan. Do you want to hear it? I'll have to be quick. Of course. When I get back, we'll do kirtans at the college in Boone and talk with students. I'll ask friends if they'd like to support us with $100. It's not a lot to ask, and we've got a lot of friends. You do. And I'm making more friends on this tour. We'll send them pictures of what we do, make them part of the team. And if it's an annual thing that they give $100 every year, the bus horn tooted. I'd better run. I'm driving the first shift. The rows weren't neat or painless, but our ducks were finally lining up. I always wanted to be a full-time Hare Krishna, but a few things had to shake loose for that to happen. Things like my job and my house. Narayan won a scholarship at Appalachian State University in Boone, North Carolina. We'd join him for his first year. The college town would be a good place to start our new life. I'd collected over 1,000 email friends, people I'd met at hardware stores or national forests who'd shown interest in what we were all about. These people get a note from me every couple of months with a little story or a lesson. They enjoyed my updates from Houston and asked for more stories from the road. Maybe these people could help our show going.